Hello, my beautiful, amazing, dope ass souls. It's your girl, Tina Marie J. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, still, again, welcome for coming in, taking a listen to my video. So I know it's been a long while since I've recorded anything and even shown my face. Like, it's been a while since I've actually been truly productive. And I'm going to be very honest and like very transparent in this video because I don't really know how else to be. Um, but first, let me just start off by saying, I don't know where to start. So much shit has happened. All right, so I first just want to say thank you for those of you who have reached out to me, those of you who have sent prayers and sent love and motivation and inspiration my way. And I really do appreciate that a lot. This video is kind of hard to make because I've been putting it off literally for like the past week. I've been saying to myself, okay, I'm gonna make this video. I'm gonna make this video tonight. I'll get my face all ready and fixed up so I could be on camera to make the video. And then when it's time to make the video, I changed my mind and I'm just like, nah, I'm not gonna make the video. Um, because it's like this is me coming out of my shell. And I've been in this cocoon for a while. Let me just get to a point because I feel like I'm kind of just like going on and on. But those of you may know, like my mom had been sick. My mom was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer in um, June, June of 2021. Just 2 months after, well, 3 months after my grandmother passed away, my mom found herself feeling sick 2 months after my grandmother passed, who is her mom. So it was like it was just way too close. It was just grief on top of grief. So I was rooting for my mom. Like I've talked about it in past videos. That's why my videos haven't been so uplifting and exciting because I haven't really had much uplifting and exciting shit happen for the past year. It's been very rough. So that's pretty much all I have. But at the same time, I do want to share good things that comes with it. So I am gonna have some, I guess you could say, sort of positive stuff to say towards the end of this video. But yeah, my mom was sick and I really did believe she was gonna get better. I knew that she wasn't gonna get to how she was before 100%, but I really believed in my heart she was gonna get better. And I stayed real positive and real strong for the entire time. But my mom, her health declined really rapidly, and she was slowly dying. I did not know this. I did not know this. So I knew she was really sick, but my mom, she's always kind of been very just like, will put out like the positives or tell you what you want to hear to keep you hopeful because she'd rather you be super hopeful than for you to have any doubt. And, my mom was a Christian, so she didn't believe in doubt. And so she wasn't fully honest with me during the time she was sick about just how sick she was feeling. She wasn't really honest about where things were going. And so basically the illness, like, it spread way too much. It was affecting all her organs. She was in and out of the hospital for different issues. There's always something. And she didn't make it very far. So my mom passed away March 11th, just a couple days after the 1 year anniversary of Ita, my grandmother, who passed away on March 5th of 2021. And my mom passed away at 1:45 p.m. This is like kind of hard for me to But I feel like I wanna make this video whether I show my face or not. It's just very hard for me. I haven't really talked about it. But today is actually it's 1 in the morning, so it's Friday now. It's Friday. I think what's today, the 25th? Yeah. It's Friday the 25th, which actually this is my father's anniversary of when he passed away. I can't even count. I can't even remember how many years ago he passed away. I stopped counting on purpose because my father passing away when I was 18, that was really hard for me. So I purposely stopped keeping count of his anniversaries. But today, on a good note, is also my best friend's birthday. You know who you are. Happy birthday. I hope you enjoy. I hope that you relax like I've been telling you to do, and I hope that you definitely, definitely enjoy your birthday. And it's a blessing that you are here to see this year. So, yeah, so my mom, she was really sick. So let me get speed through this guy. I feel like I'm rambling. It's just like it's also kind of hard for me to really, really put in words and talk about and to get my feelings out because it's like I feel like I'm in like it's a dream. Like I still don't really believe it. My mom's funeral was this past weekend on Saturday, and that was really hard for me. I was like so emotional. It's been rough. It's been really rough. I did see my mom a couple of days before she passed away. So my mom passed away on a Friday. I had saw her that I actually spent the night at her house that previous weekend. I had posted like a video of her sleeping on the couch, and I ended up sleeping on the other couch because there was no way I was going to sleep in the bedroom because my mom stayed in the couch because it was like comfortable to her compared to the bed because she lost so much um like movement. Her muscles were so weak, and she's lost like such extreme amount of weight at the end that she couldn't lift herself. She couldn't really hold anything. She couldn't walk anymore. She felt like fainting all the time. It was just really bad, and she wasn't receiving treatments anymore, but she was all doped up with all the medications. So when I saw her right before she passed away, she was just basically sleeping the whole time. She was always tired, and she was feeling sick. If she would drink something, certain things would make her sick. Like her body was rejecting life. You know, her body was rejecting everything she tried to give it to nourish herself so that she could live. Her body was just rejecting life was how I felt, how I saw it. I was just watching her like wither away. And let me tell you, if you have ever been through anything like that, you know, that's like the hardest. I think that's one of the most hardest and most heartbreaking things you could ever see in your life is taking care of your parent, especially. And the other thing I can only imagine is your child. The most hardest thing is to see them dying. You know what I'm saying? It got to a point where I was just like, at some moments, I thought maybe it would be better if she did just transition, you know. And those of you who've like followed my channel for a while know how I feel about the afterlife, or at least have an idea that I believe that there is something else after this. I am not religious anymore, but I do believe that there is something. You know, you could call it heaven, you can call it the next chapter, which is what I like to call it, like whatever you call it. I do believe that there is something else outside of this. I don't believe that you just die and then that's it. That's just me. And I have different reasons as to why I believe that, which I've spoken about on this channel as well a little bit. But yeah, with my mom, it was just so hard. So hard to see her like that. So hard. I was supposed to take my kids to see her that Sunday, that upcoming Sunday, because I had to go back to work. And I was supposed to take my kids to see her because something told me this might be the end because the weekend that I saw my mom, my uncle told me she was dying and he didn't think she'd make it through March. And I was like, "What? No, of course she will." And like my first reaction to my uncle telling me, your mom's dying, I have to be honest, the family didn't know how to tell you because literally everyone seemed to know this except for me for months. And I feel like I should have definitely known. And they did try to tell me in different ways, but no one actually came and said, "Tina, the treatments aren't working. Her body can't handle it. It's too progressed. It's too aggressive. She only has months left." Nobody told me this at all. So I was just like in shock. Like I literally felt like my entire existence just kind of stopped for a minute. And I was just like, what? Just to hear him say your mom's dying. And then that was actually when he was driving me to go see her because I had took the train out there. I stayed for the weekend, and my uncle drove me from the train to my mom's, and I saw her, and I was just like, wow, you know how thin, frail she was, and pale, and her hands were so warm. I was holding her hands, and it reminded me of like, I gotta mute myself. I'm sorry. I swear I was not gonna cry. I have not cried in the past. I don't know how, but I have not cried for the past couple of days. But I just got tired of crying because I cried so much. But like I have a picture of me holding. If you go on my Instagram, you'll see I have a picture of me holding my mom's hands, and I actually have another picture. That was actually the last time I saw my mom. And I have another picture of my grandmother. I was holding her hand the same way. I have that. I think I have it on my Instagram, yeah, from last year. So it just holding my mom's hand, it felt just like how my grandmother's hand felt. It was warm. Her skin was so smooth and warm, and it just was so light. Like she had no life in her. And I knew, what I'm saying? Like that's like the hardest thing that you could ever, one of the hardest things that you could ever go through is seeing your parent like that and knowing that my mom wanted to live. She didn't want to die, but she was so tired and weak that at the end, I remember I asked her, I was like, "Are you afraid? Are you scared?" And she just was like, "No, I'm not. I'm not scared. I did all my crying. I prayed to God." And she's like, "But I don't have any reason to be afraid. I'm not scared." But she didn't want to die. And that shit's so hard. It's so fucking hard. Oh my God, I hate when I cry every time because I feel like every time I make a video, I sound so depressing, but this is my world. Like, this is my life. This has been my life for the past year. It sucks really bad. But at the same time, like, even though, like, in my title, it says I almost cursed out God, I really did. I got so upset. I was in the car and we were driving, and I got so upset and emotional that I was just like, I almost just started yelling, like, fuck God, like, fuck, like, excuse my language. I didn't even mean to really say that on the mic, but I'm just speaking my real feelings. Like, I actually was saying that, and then I caught myself and I was like, nah, this don't feel right. I can't say that because even though I'm not a Christian anymore, right? Even though I went through that journey, and a lot of you probably followed my journey, whoever of you that listens to this probably followed my journey. Um, where I was doing my videos on being a part of a cult and doing my videos on leaving religion and all that stuff. This is my other journey. Like, we have multiple journeys that we go through in our life, and I feel like this is my other one, and it's a part of my entire book of my life, and this is just a chapter, and it's just one of the worst chapters. It really sucks really bad, but I just knew I could not blame God like that. I couldn't curse God like that, because I do believe in something. I do believe in, and I respect if you don't, but this is me personally. I'm speaking for myself. I do believe in, I guess you could say, some form of a God, a creator, I'll say. Because I don't really like to say God, because I feel like I associate God with worship. And I personally do not believe in worshiping anything or anyone in order to go to some special place. That's what I used to believe when I was a Christian, but I don't anymore. But again, I do respect anybody who does. This is just me and how I personally feel. Um, it's not a matter of what's right and what's wrong, or who's right or who's wrong. This is how I feel. This is how I believe. And I couldn't do it. Like, I couldn't. When my father passed away, I was young. I was 18. I processed that death, which was my first real death and grief that I ever had to go through. I processed it in a very, very, very bad way. Like, I had suicidal thoughts a lot. Like, it was really bad. My depression was really, really bad at that time. But now, I'm older and I'm a mom and I have a family and I have a lot more reasons to live. So of course I don't think like that. But at that time, I went through a period where I stopped going to church altogether when my dad died, and I stopped reading the Bible because I grew up in a Christian environment, a Christian family. So I was always going to church. I used to have my Bible. I used to bring my Bible to school with me. My friends would make fun of me. Like, I was that girl. And I wasn't perfect, but I was that girl. But when my dad passed away, for like a good 3 to 4 years, I did not pick up a Bible. I cursed God in my head, and I was so angry that God took my dad. So when my mom passed away, I was angry, like, yo, why? Like, really? Like, now, literally, my mom and my dad passed away around the same age. I think my dad was like 64, my mom was 67, but still, like, they didn't even see their 70s. Like, my grandmother was 86. But it's just, I expected to have my mom around for so much longer. I really expected to have her for a lot longer than this. My kids are not even done with school yet. They're not even, my daughter has another 2 more years before she graduates high school. And then my other one has to start high school. She's in middle school. Like, they were so close to my mom. They were so close to her. And me telling them, it took them a while to process it and to really show how their emotion was, where their emotion was at when I told them. It took a while for my girls to process it. Um, but let me tell you what's crazy, right? So my mom was in the hospital, like, when she passed away. And this, I know this was all her doing. And when I see her again, I'm gonna have it out with her because of this. Because I'm like, I was legit upset about this. But this is what happened. When I saw my mom, she had a doctor's appointment. I took the train, I went back home. My mom had a doctor's appointment that week. She went to the doctor, but then they did her vitals or whatever. And, they did this little checkup and they didn't like what they saw. So they sent her to the hospital. That's when my mom ended up dying. My mom was supposed to go home. She was supposed to be discharged that Friday afternoon. My mom passed away that Friday afternoon. The plan that my family had, because they knew me and the girls were coming for Sunday and we were probably going to stay into Monday, I was actually thinking of staying for like almost half of the week. So yeah, for like half of the week I was going to stay because my work schedule changed up a bit. So my family's plan was like, okay, we're gonna get balloons, we're gonna get flowers, we're gonna get a nice sign, we're gonna welcome her home, and then we're gonna have like food and this and that, and we're just gonna hang out with her, like a whole bunch of us. I know my mom I know my mom. Like, "Ma, I know you hear me. I know you're here. You know I know you." My mom does not like having a lot of company. My mom does not like she was annoyed the whole time that she was dying on the couch. Literally, that's what she was doing. She was dying on the couch and she was annoyed that people were there and it was her sisters and her brothers. She's like, "I just want you here. I don't want any of them. They need to go home. They're here all the time." And I'm like, "Ma, like, but those are your siblings. Like, this is our family. Of course, they want to be here and they want to be with you and take care of you and spend time with you." My mom was such an independent woman to her death, and I give her so much respect for that. My mom did not like having a lot of company. She did not like having a lot of attention. She was very introverted. My mom did not like the whole flowers and balloons. Like, when I saw her in the hospital the first time, she was glad I didn't bring any flowers. Personally, I don't like flowers and I don't like balloons. So it's like we're very similar in that sense. But sorry, I'm like choking out of nowhere. But my mom, she didn't like any kind of attention. Like, she didn't like any of that. So I didn't know this until after I found out. I was told, not found out, but after I was told that she had passed away. I did not know this, but my mom actually, while she was in the hospital, she told my aunts that were both there that if she is to pass away, she doesn't want to go home. She wants to do it there. She wants to die in hospital. Or her hope was that the day that she passes away, that she is either taken to the hospital or is already at the hospital. Because the plan was they were going to get hospice to come to her house to take care of her. And she didn't want that. She didn't want hospice to come to the house because then she said that that meant that there was going to be more people, and she didn't want a whole lot of people, and she didn't want the whole family there when she's dying. She wanted to just go by herself peacefully. So the crazy thing is, I was supposed to see her in the hospital. Something told me to see her. um Even though I was supposed to go see her that Sunday, something told me to go see her in the hospital. She was in there for several days. So I worked Wednesday, and my plan was Thursday, I'm gonna go see her. She ended up passing that Friday. Wednesday, I'm at work, and I keep getting this feeling like I gotta go see my mom. But then I start getting sick, which is why I sound all phlegmy now, which I apologize. And I'm like choking, coughing. I just got over this really bad chest cold, and it was so bad that like I couldn't, like, my coughing was terrible. My coughing was so bad. There was no way I could go out in the public coughing the way I was coughing. I'm good now, but I tested negative, so it wasn't the C. But I was at work and my throat started bothering me, so I had some tea. Then my voice started to kind of like die out. Let me tell you, the next day I was so sick, like my my throat was sore, my voice was completely gone. Like, and my voice just recently came back. I'm still a tiny bit raspy, but I'm always kind of raspy at night. It's weird. Like, at nighttime, I got this weird, like, raspy voice. It annoys me because I feel like I sound like a man. But anyway, that's besides the point. But I felt so sick. So I was like, you know what? I can't see my mom like this. Like, I was coughing every 5 seconds. I was like, there's no way I won't even be let in the hospital like this. So I said, I'm gonna take medicine, see how I'm feeling Friday. I really got to see her Friday because I kept feeling that urge, the urgency to see her. And I had that same urgency when my dad was sick right before he passed away, and I never got to see him at all. So Friday comes and I'm still feeling sick. So I text my aunt and I tell her, I'm like, because I knew my mom was going home that Friday too. I'm like, I'm really sick. I lost my voice. I'm coughing a lot. I'm coughing a lot and I'm like sneezing. Like, I got a really bad chest cold right now. So I'm gonna have to see her on Sunday. Can you just let her know I'm coming with the girls on Sunday? Because I'm coming anyway. I'm gonna stay for a couple nights. Shortly after that, my aunt texts me and then she's like, Tina, I already knew by this text. So she's like, call me. So I called her and she's like, are you alone? And as soon as I heard that, I already knew because the same thing happened when my grandmother passed away. My mom called me and said same thing. I was in the same place. I was sitting on my bed. So I'm like, no, Vernon's here. My husband's here. So she's like, tell him to come in the room. I already knew. I knew, but at the same time, I felt like so not numb, but I felt invisible in the world. Like I felt like my world stopped while everyone else's world kept going. So I was like hearing it, but I wasn't fully processing everything. And then she told me that my mom passed away at 1:45. And I was so upset because I didn't get to see her. I was so upset. But then I find out that my mom didn't even want me to see her. So I was just like, all right. She didn't want me to see her. So she didn't want me to see her in the hospital like that. That's what she told my cousin. That's what she told my aunts. And I do remember her telling me before that she didn't want me to see her in the hospital. Again, after the first time I saw her, that was really difficult. So that's my story. That's what's been going on. That's very depressing. I don't know if I overshared. I just kind of said what was on my heart. And to be honest with you, I honestly, like, I just feel like everything doesn't feel the same anymore for me. It really doesn't. Things that were very exciting to me, things that like brought me peace and joy, it just kind of died somewhere. But I don't, it's like my friend will probably say, like, it didn't die, it's just suppressed. Um, I'll say that it's suppressed. Because I do know it's all still there. Like I still love to write. I still have a lot of plans. I still want to do a lot of things. I still want to do this channel. It's just I've had so much happen that I think that it put me in some sort of weird state of shock to the point where like sometimes I'm stuck. Like things that used to be so easy for me to do is a challenge now. Like I used to be able to just freely say how I feel and express myself, and that's become a bit of a challenge now because I guess I'm still in kind of a bit of a state of shock. And it's really tough and it really does suck. But I don't want to end this on a depressing note. Um the reason why I would say if you are either in a similar situation or you're going through something else, it's like really hard to the point where you just want to curse God out. I would say, it's just me personally, maybe not do that. You know, I don't like to tell people what to do. So I'll just say, I'd suggest that you maybe not do that, that you don't curse God out. Whether you believe in the Bible, Christian God, or if you believe in God like just like me, like a creator, the universe. Um I I would just say just maybe think about it twice because I mean really we all go at some point. And sometimes we get our prayer, and sometimes we get the answer we wanted, and sometimes we don't. And I did not get my prayer answered. I did not get my prayer answered multiple times, but I still have a lot of blessings and I'm still here. And I don't know. Like I don't know where I'm going with this right now because I'm just kind of learning as I go along. So I just want to share whatever I'm learning from my experience, hoping it'll help anybody out there who listens to this, whether you listen to this now or 5 years down the line. Um just enjoy your life. Just like try to enjoy your life as much as you can instead of spending time questioning why me, why me. You know, it's like Les Brown says, why not me? Could you have thought of a better person this could have happened to? And he's funny. I love him. Check him out if you have never checked him out. He's a motivational speaker, but he's hilarious and he's been through a lot. And like he's always really helped me with his videos. But it's true, you know. I mean, it could be anybody. It could be anybody, but I won't say why me, and I won't curse out God, because I don't believe that. This is just me personally. I don't really believe that God is to blame for everything all the time. Can God reverse things? Yes. Why did this happen? I don't know. Is there a lesson to be learned? I believe there's a lesson to be learned in every situation, big, small, positive, negative, happy, or sad. I believe there's always a lesson to be learned. But I just think that this is just our journey. Like, we're just journeying through life, and maybe there's another life after this. Maybe we have lived multiple lives and we don't know that. And maybe that's why we have different experiences and different lifespans, and we do different things with our time and take different risks, or we don't take risks. We're all so different because we're all here to experience something different. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not here to experience the same things. We're not here to believe the same things. We're all so different for a reason, because this is our journey. This is our individual journey. And I personally don't believe we should waste our time asking why me, why this, why that, or just wondering why did this happen. I question, of course, many times how my mom, who was so healthy, why did this happen? Like, literally, it hasn't even been a full year since she was diagnosed. It hadn't even been a full year that she passed away. And I would have never in a million years thought of this. And life feels so empty sometimes and lonely. And without my mom here, it just feels like too free. I used to be able to call my mom and cry to her, and, like, when I was feeling worried, and she always made me feel so safe. Like that's mommy, that's still mommy to me. But I mean, that one thing that I could say I take away from it is that my mom gave me some sort of a strength that I've been praying for that I didn't know I had. And she gave it to me because she always had it. I always saw her as strong since I was little. I used to look at her and think, like, wow, my mommy, she does a lot. I used to pay a lot of attention. I used to just be like, she does a lot. She was a single mom. She was running around, taking me to school on public transportation, just to take public transportation all the way into Manhattan to go work in the Twin Tower buildings. She escaped 9/11. She escaped the 1993 bombing at the Twin Towers. Like, my mom, I felt like I was gonna have her for a long time. And I thought maybe we could grow old together, like maybe we could, kind of like how she was growing older with her mom. I wanted to do the same thing. I wanted to do things for my mom. Like, I had dreams that I wanted to buy my mom a house one day, and I wanted to dedicate my first book to my mom, and I wanted to take her on a vacation. She's always wanted to go to Hawaii. And now I'm like, never gonna get to do that. So that really does suck. But at the same time, I feel like I can't do that in physical. In this realm we're in now, I can't do that physically for her. But like, I carry my mom everywhere I go, in my heart. Like, I know it probably sounds cheesy to some people, but I really do feel for the first time what that means when people say that. Oh, I carry this person in my heart. I've always kind of thought of, like, yeah, okay, that's what people always say when somebody passes away. But I really feel that way because I really do feel every time I'm out anywhere, or even just in my house, I sometimes feel like my mom's presence in a way. I'm not saying like she's a ghost, but I mean, like, I just feel her, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel closer to my mom now than when she was here, because she's in the spiritual form now. Which I believe she's in the spiritual form. So, and I did dream about her. I did. But yeah. So, my promise to my mom is that I'm going to carry on her legacy. And I am going to find a way to get myself out of this, I don't know what you would call this, this bubble I'm in where it's just a lot of pain and hurt, and get myself to healing and get myself back on track with everything and just learn how to enjoy life and learn to see that the world is beautiful. Life is so beautiful. You know, the world is so beautiful. I just have to remember that. I have to see that, and I'll get there eventually. But yes, don't blame God, you know. Try not to blame God. Just enjoy your life and enjoy the fact you're here and those around you, and carry whatever strength they gave you, because like I said before, I really do feel like my mom gave me an enormous amount of strength that I didn't know I had because I had to pray for it. And I asked my mom, I said, please, like, just please give me the strength I need, because I don't feel like I can get through life without you here. And I did tell her that before she passed. And before she passed, she said, you have to stay strong no matter what. And I promised her that I would. She knew at that moment. I believe she knew. And I promised that I would, even though I didn't think I knew how. But I was like, if I promise I will, then I'm going to be forced to figure out how. So I do feel like I have been feeling stronger. It's only been, today actually makes 2 weeks since my mom passed away. But I'm a mom too, so I have to be strong. And my girls, like I said before, was very close to her. So I have to be here for my girls, you know? Anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make this video so long. You guys know I ramble. But I do appreciate those of you who do listen, those of you who do enjoy um, listening to my content when I do put out content, and those of you who reach out and all of that stuff. I love you guys all so much. All right, so I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully next video I actually show my face. All right, but enjoy the rest of your week.